Today, I'm going to share with you a day in my life as an independent photographer. What is an independent photographer? Someone who takes photos independently, meaning I create what I want to create and try to make a living off of that. At least try to. Now, I'm not fully where I'm aiming to be yet, but I am working towards building this thing to be more self-sufficient to get to where I want to go and live off the stuff I make. And much of what I do is make content, write, and sell prints and books. For a period of time, I did freelance work like video editing, photo shoots, and even wedding photography. All of which taught me a lot, but I quickly realized wasn't for me. So I switched things up. Now I spend my days sharing and talking about photography, creativity, productivity, philosophy, all that stuff. And here's how I do it. Part 1. Work. My current days are split into 3 components, the first being work. Now, this might seem strange to some of you guys, but I work every day. I don't have weekends and I usually don't have any days off. My reason for this is simple. Working every day allows me to make more progress over the course of a year. If we have 52 weeks in a year, that's 104 days of work that could be helping me get to where I want to go. And I actually don't mind doing the thing I want to do every day. It's not fun all the time, but it is fun. So this is the schedule I found that works for me because work never really ends if you're a creator nowadays. But this isn't to say I work all day, every day. After experiencing burnout and other things, I found it more healthy, sustainable, and productive to not only work every day, but also rest every day. Meaning I limit my work hours. Typically, I'll work from when I wake up, which is around 8 to 10 a.m. to around 1 to 2 p.m. And I start every day off by writing. Writing is the most important task of my day. It's what stimulates the creative cycle for me, gets things going, and becomes the basis and foundation for much of my other content like YouTube videos, the blog, newsletter, and even helps contribute to bigger projects like books or courses. So although this channel is mainly about photography, writing is actually most of what I do. It's idea generation, idea development, and it helps me sort through all the experiences and lessons in my head. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's miserable, but it is essential. And I do this first thing every morning before anything, even coffee. My reason for this is because of a term popularized by Mark Twain called eating the frog. Eat a live frog first thing in the morning and nothing worse will happen to you for the rest of your day. Meaning if the first thing you do every morning is the thing you hate and the thing you are avoiding, but you get it out of the way, then the rest of your day becomes better in comparison. So I stick to that and every morning I write. After writing, I'll usually work on the next most important thing. This could be editing photos, editing YouTube videos, writing short form, tweets, etc. And if I'm working on some sort of larger project like a photo book, I'll throw that into this time slot as well. And generally I'll work in Pomodoro sets of 30 minutes at a time with 5-minute breaks in between. This is key if you're trying to be productive and focus better. During your break times, you are not allowed to scroll, not allowed to check your phone, not allowed to do other things. The only thing you can do is just sit there and do nothing. Trust me, this is such a powerful hack. This is based on Seinfeld's principle for writing and I use it all the time. If you try this out, you'll notice your mind is fighting between doing the work and wanting to do something else. It'll try and negotiate and say things like, if we get some coffee, we'll be able to focus better. Or if we're not going to do anything and be productive anyways, we might as well do something fun and just enjoy our day because the day's just a wash. Ignore it and just sit there. Because if you're committed to this, your mind will eventually give in and you'll get to work. And the moment you do, your mind will focus much better because it would rather do the work than be bored. So that's a quick hack for you if you're having trouble focusing. And this deep focused work period usually takes me until 1 to 2 p.m. By this time, my brain is usually tired and I get diminishing returns from working more. Meaning if I try to work longer, I'll be less productive and get less done. So I try to finish my stuff, but if I'm not done, I'll save it for the next day. From this point on, I'll usually move on to fulfilling any print or book orders. Lately, I've been giving out a lot of 4x6 prints. These ones I usually pick at random depending on what I feel like printing or what I have available, and I'll send them out with a small paper frame. If you're interested in getting one, you can get one in the link down below or on my website somewhere. So this is also the time when I'll ship out larger prints or books. My latest photography zine, The Sinking Sun, has a hardcover and softcover version. Both are limited. And these come with 11x14 prints as well as many other extras. So I'll write letters, sign the books, make the prints, and ship them off. And unless there's a ton of orders during this time period, this is usually an enjoyable time for me because it's mindless work and I don't really have to think too much. Alright, now let's move on to the second part of my day. Part 2. Activity. By this time, I'm usually tired, my brain is dead, and I'm hungry. So I'll eat something and then begin the next part of my day, which is usually more active. I usually take an afternoon walk after eating, and in my opinion, this is the biggest hack for creatives. Walks allow you to distance yourself from not only the work, but also your other problems in life. They allow you to get your body moving, which is healthy, and allow your mind to subconsciously figure stuff out. So I'd recommend integrating walks into your daily life, especially if you're a creative person. It's an easy way to be more creative without really doing more work. After this, I'll usually hit up my routine workout, which typically consists of a pull-up or push-up routine. Currently, I'm also integrating a lot of ATG squats or ass to grass squats, which are good for the knees, and other core exercises. I've been trying to strengthen my deeper core muscles a lot, which means a lot of planks, leg lifts, and other stuff. And after that, I shower and eat again, which brings us into the next big part. Golden hour. Golden hour is the most important time of the day for photographers because that's when the lighting is the best. And if I'm ever going to go out and take photos, it's going to be during this time, which could mean capturing epic sunsets or taking simple street photos. Where I go and take photos usually depends on what bigger photography project I'm working on, or maybe if I have a camera or lens I'm interested in testing, or if I just feel like walking somewhere different. Now, this is important. Photography is what I do, but I try to keep this time as pressure-free as possible. Because although good photos can easily lead to good content, good prints, and good books, I found that trying to create good work can easily lead to me creating bad work. It's stressful, there's pressure, and I usually find myself getting too into my head about other stuff. So I've trained myself to sort of just walk around, not care, enjoy the moment, and just take photos. I listen to music, explore places I want to explore, and try not to care too much. And through this process, good photos come on their own naturally. So this is how I keep photography fun despite it being such an integral part of what I do. Part 3. Learning and unwinding. The last and final component of my day is this weird combination between learning and resting. Because I'm doing work every day, there has to be some sort of time period that I slot in to help me unwind from that. Because over the years I've learned I'm not a machine, and although I could work on miscellaneous tasks all day, every day, it'll often be unsustainable and actually less productive. So nowadays, I take great care in resting because that's what allowed me to be more effective the next day. And resting might be sitting there watching YouTube videos or going out and hanging out with friends. It's also a weird mix of learning as well. During this time, I'll usually read, watch podcasts, or journal. And all of these things are productive things that contribute to my work but don't really feel productive. Journaling and reading especially is just healing for the mind. I'm not thinking too hard about stuff, but I am stimulating my mind in different ways. In terms of what I read, I've been doing a lot of nonfiction over the past few years, but I am getting into fiction again. Currently, I just finished the 3rd Dune book and I'm working on the 4th. And I've been following that rabbit hole after the hype from the movie that just came out. But other times, I'll usually read some sort of nonfiction book related to improving my life and just follow what interests me. Sometimes it's philosophy, sometimes it's productivity, and occasionally I'll flip through a photo book. And when reading or listening to podcasts, I'll usually take notes of anything I find remotely useful. This is another productive, unproductive thing I do because it usually leads to good content and ideas later. So I know this is supposed to be a rest part of my day, and a lot of this stuff might seem like work to you guys. But I don't see it as work, it's just doing stuff that's fun and interesting to me. They do help and contribute towards my work though, so that's a neat upside. And finally, I'll finish my day off with journaling. Over the years, I've experimented with many different ways of journaling. Sometimes I'll just write down my thoughts, other times I'll plan out the next month. But lately, I've just been rating my day and tracking what I eat. This is what I call my health and happiness journal. I've been trying to pay close attention to what it is I do when I have a good day. I write those things down, and that way I can get more data on what makes me happy and what makes me less happy. And I'll try and pay attention to the patterns I notice when I have a bad day or an anxiety day or a day filled with worry. I'll take note of those things and try and switch things up the next time I find myself in that kind of situation. And I've also been trying to track what I eat more because I've been trying to improve my gut health. And I'll finish the day off with thinking about what I'm going to do tomorrow. They often say the morning after begins the night before, and I found that to be pretty true. So that pretty much wraps up my daily routine. It's composed of 3 things: work, movement or activity, and learning or unwinding. It's a daily structure I developed for myself, and it's composed of things that make up what I would consider my ideal day. And some final tips if you're looking to structure your day better: ask yourself, what would my ideal day consist of? And then list out everything you'd want to do every day, including the responsibilities. Design your day how you would like it and slowly make changes to your daily life if it's possible, of course. Another good question to ask is, if I could live one day in a row for the next 5 years and be perfectly happy with it, what would it be? And of course, you can leave flexibility and variety for different days as you see fit. But these are good questions to ask because they're a good way to hone down on the things you actually want to do in life. and they allow you to pay more attention to what you actually enjoy doing. So doing this has granted me a ton of happiness points overall. So that's my daily life as an independent photographer. I hope this was interesting. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please share this with another friend. Also, be sure to check out my latest photography zine, The Singing Sun, if you haven't yet. It's a project I spent a lot of time on and explores our relationship between time and sunsets. And you can also get a free 4x6 print in the link down below if you haven't yet. Thanks for watching as always. Have a great day. Peace.